Fear. It's the invisible wall that keeps millions of people trapped. Not because they're weak, not because they don't have dreams, but because fear whispers, don't try, don't speak, don't step forward. And the saddest part? Most people listen. Most people live their whole lives inside that invisible cage. But not everyone. There are a few who step through. And when they do, everything changes. Today, I want to share 3 stories. Ordinary people, ordinary fears, who found extraordinary courage. And when you hear them, you'll realize the same courage is inside you. Maya, the artist. Maya loved painting. Colors were her language. But every time she picked up a brush, another voice spoke louder. You're not good enough. People will laugh at you. So she hid her art. She worked in a grey office, filing grey papers, living a grey life. The canvas stayed blank, because her fear was louder than her dream. One day, a friend convinced her, submit a painting to the local art show. Her hands shook as she painted. Every stroke felt like a mistake, but she finished. She submitted. At the exhibition, she wanted to disappear. But then, people stopped. They stared. They whispered. Someone asked, who painted this? By the end of the night, she had sold her first piece. And in that moment, Maya realized the real failure would have been never painting at all. Arjun had a dream, an app that connected people to volunteer work. He quit his job, poured his savings in, rejections piled up. Investors laughed, partners quit. His parents begged him to stop. At night, he cried into his pillow, wondering if he'd made the biggest mistake of his life. 2 years later, broke and exhausted, he walked past a dusty community center. They were holding a charity event. They needed help managing volunteers. Arjun said, use my app. They did. It worked beautifully. The event was a success. One story in the local paper turned into an investor call. That call turned into seed funding. That seed grew into thousands of lives impacted. But Arjun's greatest victory wasn't the funding. It was this. He had faced rejection after rejection and discovered that failure doesn't end you. It shapes you. Lena and Samir. Lena was a teacher in a forgotten little town. Her students didn't have much. Old books, broken desks. But she saw something in one quiet boy, Samir. He barely spoke. Kids teased him. He kept his head down. Then a poetry competition was announced in the city. Lena asked Samir to perform. His face went pale. Stage fright. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of failure. But Lena didn't give up. Day after day they practiced. He trembled. He stumbled. But slowly, his voice grew steadier. The day of the competition came. Samir stood on stage, knees shaking. He forgot a line. He froze. The audience waited. Then, he took a deep breath and finished. Not perfectly, but bravely. The applause thundered, not because he was flawless, but because he was courageous. That moment changed Samir forever. He wasn't the quiet boy anymore. He was the boy who stood up when fear told him to sit down. So what do Maya, Arjun and Samir have in common? They were afraid, but they acted anyway. And that's the secret. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in spite of fear. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not supposed to feel fearless. You're supposed to feel the shaking in your chest. And step forward anyway. Because when you do, something incredible happens. The cage disappears. The wall crumbles. And you realize fear was never holding you back. It was waiting for you to rise. So I leave you with this. This week, do one thing that scares you. Send that email. Speak up. Start that project. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be courageous. Because the world doesn't need perfect people, it needs brave ones. If this story touched you, subscribe to Echoes of Hope. Here we tell stories that remind you of one truth. You are braver than you believe. And your time is coming.